So I'm finally getting around to fixing the overheating issue. This thing overheated with the factory 1FZ on steep climbs, and even after building a forged internal LS1, it's still getting warm on long grades or long climbs. So now I know some LS guys will say 220 degrees is totally fine, but I'm chasing perfection here. And before the comments roll in, yes, your cruise through Kansas is probably fine, but I don't live in Kansas. I live in Utah, and where every freeway ramp is basically a hill climb competition. So I'm planning on towing on top of all that, and there may or may not be a 150 shot of NITROUS coming soon to this build. So I think I'll have the first LS swapped Land Cruiser with NITROUS on it. So that should be pretty fun. I've replaced the entire cooling system at this point, so the next logical step is the radiator. I've got a buddy that's running this same eBay special that I'll link in the comments down below. It's a quad core. He's running it in a 6.0 LS swapped 80 series, and that solved all of his overheating issues. So let's pull the old one out, make a big mess, and get going on it. So in an attempt to add value to subscribers and people that view and like the channel, if you've got an 80 series that you want to do this radiator upgrade in, it's made to work with the factory shroud, but if you're thinking of switching to electric fans or just some other configuration, I'm going to put up a bunch of free CAD files up on the website at raising-north.com, and you can just log in over there. I'll put the website link in the description as well, and you can just send those off to somebody like Send Cut Send, or I'll also have a PDF version if you want to just cut some out with a skill saw and bend them up yourself. I'll include a shroud without any holes in it, so you can cut your own holes. So if you want to do a big 20-inch fan, or I'm running a Spall 14-inch and a 16-inch fan in unison with a low temp and high temp turn on. So I'll have that file as well, and I'll link those fans if you want to run those same fans in the description. If this helps your build, smash that like and subscribe so you don't miss the next upgrades.
So if you have the eBay quad-core radiator that I'll provide the link to on my website in the video description, and you're looking for a radiator shroud for it, I've kind of drawn this up for my purposes, and maybe it'd be helpful for you guys. But there's top and bottom. These side flanges are where the radiator, where it'll mount to the radiator, as well as we have these tabs here on the top and bottom of the shroud for mounting to the existing bolt holes that came on my eBay special. You get a flat pattern. It's got a cutout here for relief for the radiator inlet hose. And these are just files that you could send off to Send Cut Send, and they would bend them up for you, or just use a local fab shop. You can weld up the corners if you want. The tabs I left without any holes in them. So there's two different type tabs. One is an inch tall, the other one's a 1 1/4 inch tall. And these you can weld in and drill out, because I'm sure there's some variation in these radiators and where their mounting locations are. I'm not sure they're exactly perfect. So if you're interested in getting the free plans for this, let me know. I'll also upload another version of this with the holes cut out for my Spall fan setup. I'm using a 16-inch and a 14-inch Spall radiator fans, and I'll provide the links for that as well.
So, unfortunately, my little Harbor Freight vendor didn't have the oomph to go ahead and make up these bends, and I'm too cheap and I don't have enough time to send this off to the laser shop, so I just got some relief bends on the bend lines and bent them up on my vise, and I think it's looking pretty good. So fits pretty nice. There's a little relief here for the inlet hose. So unfortunately with this relief, I'm gonna have to weld this whole thing up, and then while I've got the TIG welder out, I'm gonna throw in some of these AN-6 fittings. So right now, this is for the preheat for the transmission cooler, or the transmission fluid. So when you start up in the bottom of your radiator, the transmission first runs the transmission fluid through the bottom of the radiator and gets it warmed up, and then it funnels it through the transmission cooler and then back to the transmission. I know it seems kind of ironic that, you know, one's warming it up, one's cooling it down, but this gets it up to temperature, and then the cooler makes sure that it's not exceeding temperature, is how I understood it. So I got to cut these old fittings off. These are usually just manufacturer specific, and then they just have a little fitting that comes out and you use a hose clamp on it, but I don't want to have any leaks, and everything else on the rig is AN fittings, so we're going to cut these off and weld these little AN bungs in, and we'll go from there. Well, that's that. She's in there. Couple of clearance issues here and there, but nothing too major. It's a pretty tight fit. It's quite a bit thicker than the factory radiator, but she's ready to go. So all I got to do is put coolant in it, and I can start her up. But I'm still working on putting the transmission and the transfer case in, so I can't do that right now. But I would highly recommend getting one of these. This is just a bleeder kit for the coolant system, and it's got a whole bunch of different adapters in here that'll swap out for whatever your filler cap is, and it's got a little plunger in here, so you can fill this thing with coolant after you've topped off the radiator. Start the engine up, let it warm up, and you'll be surprised in seeing how many air bubbles come on out of this thing and out of your cooling system. So make sure you get that bled out. Like and subscribe if you like what I'm putting together, and we'll see you on the next one.